Mufsab, there is a wonderful ayat, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, which means we worship you alone and we only seek your help. So there are two things, worship and seeking help. So according to this verse of Quran, meaning only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is worthy of being worshipped. And the second thing, that we should seek help only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But my question is that in our day-to-day life, we also come across many situations in which we seek help from others. So is it against the teachings of Quran?
And then we seek help from Awliya Kiram and Anbiya Kiram. So there are two types of seeking help, and there are two types of helping other people as well. Both are two types. The first, which is called ma taht al asbab, and the second is this, that which is called ma fawq al asbab. What is the meaning of that? Ma taht al asbab is that help which is done through common resources which we commonly use in our life. For example, if I'm dying for thirst and I seek help from someone and he gave me water, so he is giving me help, he is providing me water, but that is through worldly sources, because he is visible person and he is using his bodily power for that. So that is ma taht al asbab. But ma fawq al asbab means if I'm dying for thirst and I call any wali or any prophet for giving me water, and he is too far from me and he is giving me help and he is providing me water from far distance, so that is called ma fawq al asbab, umure ghair adiya. Both kind of helps could be sought from people, and that has been proven from Quran and Hadith. If we go to a Hadith, so there are too many. But if we recite only some ayah of the Holy Quran, so I would recite some ayah. For example, first ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Holy Quran, وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ. Indeed, Allah has helped you in the battle of Badr, or in the field of Badr. Whosoever has recited Quran, whosoever has studied Quran thoroughly, he knows that Allah Azza wa Jal has mentioned in the Holy Quran himself that those personality who helped Sahaba Kiram, they were angels. As the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Sahaba Kiram, and that is in Quran, إِذْ تَقُولُ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَلَنْ يَكْفِيَكُمْ أَنْ يُمِدَّكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِثَلَاثَةِ آلَافٍ مِنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُنْزَلِينَ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam promised and gave glad tidings to Sahaba Kiram that Allah Azza wa Jal will help you with 3,000 angels. Then Allah Azza wa Jal said, Bala in tasbiru wa tattaqu wa ya'tukum min fawrihim hadha yumdidkum rabbukum bi khamsati alafim minal malaikati musawwimin. In this ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal said, in tasbiru wa tattaqu. If you show your patience and if you show your piety, then Allah Azza wa Jal will help you with 5,000 angels. So now in these two ayah, it is obvious and it is clearly said that Allah Azza wa Jal will help Sahaba Kiram with 3,000 angels or with 5,000 angels. And it happened, means in the battle of Badr, 3,000 and after that 5,000 angels, they were revealed, they were sent down, they helped Sahaba Kiram, they supported them, they fought with infidels and they killed them. So that help was done by angels. But Allah Azza wa Jal saying in this place, وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jal has supported you, He has helped you. So what is that? Angels are being revealed, they are helping, they are supporting, but Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, Allah Azza wa Jal has supported you, Allah Azza wa Jal has helped you. Why? Because the support of angels were with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, with the commandment of Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal has granted that power to angels to support, to help Sahaba Kiram. That's why their help was called as the help of Allah Azza wa Jal, and the support was considered as the support of Allah Azza wa Jal. So this ayah shows wherever any help, any support from Awliya Kiram, from the pious people, from the beloved of Allah Azza wa Jal, wherever any help from these people, but if that help is with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, then that help would be considered as the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. That would be considered as the support of Allah Azza wa Jal. So now this help was from angels. Now there is another ayah that is which is about Prophet of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about Hazrat Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam addressed Bani Israel and he mentioned some of his attributes, some of his qualities and miracles. Among them, Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned, Anni akhluqu lakum min at-teen. I design from clay for you. What? Kahayati tayr. A thing which is like a form of a bird. Then I breathe in it, and that becomes bird, real bird. So, and how does it happen? Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is saying, bi-idhnillah, that becomes bird with the commandment of Allah Azza wa Jal, with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. Then Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is saying, wa ubriul akmaha wal abrasa, and I cure blind and leper. The person who is blind, the person who is in the disease of leprosy, Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is curing them. And then Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is saying, wa uhyil mauta bi-idhnillah, and I give life to the dead with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. So in this ayah, in two places, Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is describing that I do this, I do that, but all things are done with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. And that is the help, because those people who are blind, they used to seek help from Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and Isa alayhi salatu wasalam would help them with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. Those people who were suffering from the leprosy, they used to seek help from Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and Isa alayhi salatu wasalam would help them in that matter. So what is that? Isa alayhi salatu wasalam was not a doctor. He didn't use these worldly means. He did that help and he provided that help with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, but that help was without worldly resources. That power which had been given to him from Allah Azza wa Jal. That is called ma fawqa al-asbab, and that is called umure ghaire adiya. So this ayah and the particularly word bi-idhnillah, which has been mentioned here for twice. First time bi-idhnillah, second time bi-idhnillah. It means his help was with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. And that is the thing, what we are seeing, what we are claiming, wherever in help from Awliya Kiram and from Anbiya Kiram alayhimu salatu wasalam, because that help is with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, that's why that help would be considered as the support and the help of Allah Azza wa Jal as well. And the third ayah, the first ayah was about angels. Their help was the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. Second ayah was the help of a prophet. That help was the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the third ayah is about wali. The help of wali is the help of Allah Azza wa Jal as well. As in Surah An-Naml, Allah Azza wa Jal has mentioned a very beautiful parable about Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam. Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam was informed about a country and about a throne and about a ruler, that there is a woman, she is ruling in a country and she had a big throne. Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam wrote a letter to her to come to the court of Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam in submission. Then because Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam want her to become Muslim, that's why Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam want to show any miracle. Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam was the ruler of jinns and human beings and birds and animals as well. So Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam addressed his people and his armies. Among them there were jinns and human beings and birds. Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam said, which is mentioned in the Holy Quran, Ayyukum ya'atini bi'arshiha qabla an ya'atuni muslimin. Who is among you which can bring me the throne of that lady before they come to me in submission? So Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned, قَالَ عِفْرِيتٌ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ أَنَا آتِكَ بِهِ قَبْلَ أَن تَقُومَ مِن مَّقَامِكَ وَإِنِّي عَلَيْهِ لَقَوِيٌّ أَمِينٌ. So one of jinns, he stood up and he requested to Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, I can bring that throne before you rise from your place. So I will bring that. وَإِنِّي عَلَيْهِ لَقَوِيٌّ أَمِينٌ, and I have that power and I am trustworthy. But Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam got silent. Then another person stood up and he said, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Holy Quran, قَالَ الَّذِي عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِّنَ الْكِتَابِ أَنَا آتِيكَ بِهِ قَبْلَ أَن يَرْتَدَّ إِلَيْكَ طَرْفُكَ. Then another person who had the knowledge of book, he stood up and he said to Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, I will bring that throne before your gaze turns toward you. I will bring that throne before that. Then what happened? Allah Azza wa Jalla said, فَلَمَّا رَآهُ مُسْتَقِدًا عِنْدَهُ. Then when Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam saw that throne placed in front of him, he said, قَالَ هَذَا مِنْ فَضْلِ رَبِّي. He said, this is from the favor of my Lord, that He has granted that power to one of my nation, to one of my ummati. And لِيَبْلُوَنِي أَأَشْكُرُ أَمْ أَكْفُرُ. So that is the another part of the ayah. First of all, he sought help from all of his armies, all of his forces. And that help was ma fawqa al-asbab, not ma tahta al-asbab, because the person didn't have to go to that place and brought from there physically through worldly sources. Everyone who had to bring that throne, he had to bring that throne without using the worldly means. Okay, so it means Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam sought help ma fawqa al-asbab. First, jinn requested that I can do that. Then the person who had the knowledge of book, he claimed that I can do that, and he did that. It means he helped Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam ma fawqa al-asbab, without using the worldly sources. He did that help. And Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam testified that, and he mentioned that this is from the fadl of Allah Azza wa Jal, that is the favor of my Lord. It means when any help is with the favor of Allah Azza wa Jal, that help is permissible, that is allowed, and that help would be considered as the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. So now in 3 ayah, the separate creatures of Allah Azza wa Jal have been mentioned. First angel, then prophet, then awliya kiram. And so these 3 ayah openly tell us that seeking help from awliya kiram, from anbiya kiram, and from the beloved to Allah Azza wa Jal is allowed, and there is no negation and there is no prohibition in that. And just for getting some barakah, I would mention one of the miracle of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, because ahadith, there are many, there are more than hundreds. And one of them is very famous, which is in Bukhari Sharif. In the battle of Khaybar, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one night, tomorrow I will give the flag of my army to that person. In under the leadership of that person, Allah Azza wa Jal will grant victory to Muslims. And that person is that Allah and His Prophet love that person, and that person loves Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. So Sahaba Ikram said that for all the night we used to wake up thinking about that, who is that personality about whom Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that Allah Azza wa Jal will grant victory through that person, and Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam love that person, and that person loves Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the next day, when Sahaba Ikram gathered around the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked, Aina Ali? Aina Ali ibn Abi Talib? Where is Ali ibn Abi Talib? So one Sahabi told, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is suffering from eye trouble. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, so bring him to me. Then Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala was brought to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam spat into his eyes, and he became like he didn't have any ailment. Means he was cured within seconds, within no time he was cured. So now that help which was given to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what kind of help that was? That was ma fawqa al-asbab, and it has happened many times on the hand of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it means giving help to people by these personalities, by awliya kiram, by anbiya kiram alaihimus salatu wassalam is allowed, and that has been proven. And to call them for help is also permissible.
The viewers of Madani channel, mashallah Azawajal, Mufti Sahab giving wonderful explanation of the verse Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Mashallah has given us enough arguments to believe in the permissibility of seeking help from awliya kiram and from seeking help from other dignities of Islam.